Hello, I'm Don, and I'll be your host for this tutorial on Special Order Point of Sale. The Special Order option allows you to do a lot more with your Triad than the basic point of sale software. With the Special Order package, you get 4 additional functions that give your Triad much more power and flexibility. These 4 additional functions are called Order, Special Order, Open Quote, and Estimate. Basically, Order is like saving a sale as an order in basic point of sale. In the basic point of sale video, we showed you how to interrupt a sale, save it as an order, and then recall the sale when the customer returned with the money she forgot. Well, with the order function, you can now create the sale as an order from the very beginning. That's a helpful and time-saving feature. Whenever a customer calls up to verify price and availability and then promises to come by to pick up the merchandise, you can use the order function. Special Order operates virtually the same as Order, except that Special Order allows you to sell items that you don't normally have in stock. Unlike Order and Special Order, Open Quote and Estimate are not committed transactions. Both Open Quote and Estimate use quoted prices to help obtain customer business. When you create an open quote for one of your regular customers, you're really creating a temporary, customized price list for that customer. The special prices you establish on an open quote will override the regular prices only for the items that you put on open quote, and only for the period of time you indicate. Although an estimate and an open quote are created in almost the same way, they are used for quite different purposes. While an open quote does not define the quantity of the items to be sold, an estimate must specify the exact quantities. The estimate emphasizes the total price of a list of goods as opposed to the cost of specific items. An estimate may not even list line item prices. You'll find the estimate as a great selling tool for customers who are comparison shopping for a particular job. It tells them how much the total price of the materials they need will cost at your store. So, in an estimate, everything has to be very specific, especially the quantities. In an open quote, however, the quantities are left open, but the prices are guaranteed by the store. All this will become clearer as we demonstrate the procedures on the Triad. Before we begin, let me emphasize that you should already have a good working knowledge of basic point of sale. In addition, we strongly recommend that you do the exercises in the workbook. Now, excuse me just a minute. Hello, this is Don. How can I help you?
Yeah, this is Tony over at Thomas More Construction.
Oh yeah, hi Tony. How are things going on those condos?
Fine, fine. Look, I'm kind of in a jam. I need to pick up some supplies. Do you think you could have them ready by the time I get there?
Sure, Tony, no problem. Hold on a second, okay, while I transfer you to the service desk. Good, there's an order coming in now. Let's not keep the customer waiting. I'll give him to Linda. She's done so well with the Triad, we've put her over at the service desk. Let's watch her create an order. Linda, pick up Tony, please. He's on line 3.
Okay, put him through. Hi, this is Linda. How can I help you?
Yeah, hi, Linda. This is Tony over at Thomas More Construction. Listen, I want to come by around noon and pick up a couple of items for the yard. I want to make sure you have them in stock.
This is for your general account, not a particular job, right?
You got it.
Sure, Tony, no problem. I'll create an order for you right now on my computer.
To create an order, you have to begin at the big header screen. So press Next Screen to go from the posting screen to the big header screen. Display the customer's account on the header screen. You can call up the account either by entering the customer's account number or by moving the cursor to the short ID field. Type a C for customer in the parentheses, press Enter, then type the customer's short name and press Next Item. After the customer's account is displayed, press the Save Order key to begin the order. You can add any information on the order form by moving the cursor to the field for special instructions and type in your message.
Okay, Tony, I have your account ready in my computer. What do you need today?
Yeah, I need 10 sheets of exterior plywood and 100 rolls of fiberglass insulation. I'm kind of pressed for time. Can you have everything ready when I come in?
Okay. Well, let me make sure we have both items in stock. Hold on a sec.
Linda presses Next Screen to return to the posting screen. Then she enters the SKU numbers of the items the customer wants. Linda displays the items Tony wants and checks the quantity on hand for each. Since the store has enough stock to cover Tony's order, Linda posts the items exactly as if she were posting a sale by entering the SKU numbers and the quantities to be sold.
Okay, Tony, you're all set. Your plywood and insulation will be ready by noon.
Great. Thanks, Linda. I'll see you then.
Okay, bye.
Linda totals the order and prints it, first by pressing the Total key and then the Print key. Since she is not taking a deposit at this time, she ignores the message about taking a deposit and presses Enter. A number is assigned to this order. The order is saved in the computer and printed out. You can use this number to recall the order later. Linda files one copy of the order, or pick ticket, at her service desk. She takes another to the dock so the stock workers can pick the order.
Hi, I'm Tony from Thomas More Construction. I called in earlier about plywood and fiberglass insulation.
Oh, right. Your order is ready down at the dock. Let me invoice it and then I'll have you sign it.
There's been a slight change. It turns out that we had some supplies left over in the yard that we'd overlooked the other day. So I don't need any plywood at all, and I only need 50 rolls of insulation. Can you change that for me?
Yeah, I'll recall your order in the computer and I'll make the changes, and then I'll call down to the dock and let them know what's happening. Right. This is going to take me a minute or two, and I know you were in a hurry. Is that okay?
Sure. Sorry I didn't call it in ahead of time.
That's no problem.
To change an order, you first have to recall it. Press Next Screen to go to the big header screen. Type in the customer's account number and press Enter to display the customer's account. To look up an order, move the cursor to the parentheses at the short ID field and type an O for order. Press Next Item to display each order for this account. When you have the order you want, press Next Screen to return to the posting screen and display the items on this order.
Okay, I have your order. Now you want to change the insulation from 100 to 50, right?
That's right.
To change a line item, first press the Change key. The screen asks you what line number you want to change. Type the line number of the fiberglass insulation and press Enter. Type 50. Press Clear Field to clear out the previous amount and then press Enter. The Triad reposts the fiberglass with the quantity changed from 100 to 50.
Okay, that's taken care of. Cancel the plywood, right?
Right again.
To delete a line item, press Void. The screen asks you what line number you want to void. Type the line number of the plywood and press Enter. Notice the voided item message where the plywood had previously appeared.
Okay, no plywood this time. Will that be all today?
Yeah, that's it. Charge it to our account.
When all the items are posted, press Total. You get 3 options at this point. To print the order without receiving a payment, press Print. To save the order in the computer without immediately printing a copy, press Enter or press Total again. To bill the customer and print the invoice now, press Invoice. The payment fields appear. Fill them in according to how the customer plans to pay. Since this is a charge, you just have to press Enter. The total will automatically be charged against the customer's account.
Okay, Tony, sign right here, and I'll call the doc and we'll be all set.
All right, that's about all there is to order. Simple, isn't it? Once you display the customer's account on the header screen, you press the Save Order key, and the rest is just like selling merchandise in basic point of sale. Special order works almost the same way as order. Instead of pressing the order key, though, you press the special order key to begin the procedure. After that, everything is exactly the same. The big difference between order and special order is in its use. While order is used for merchandise you normally carry in stock, special order is used for items you have to, well, special order from someplace else, like the manufacturer. A good example is wallpaper. Do you realize how many varieties of wallpaper there are? No? Well, there are lots, believe me. And there's no accounting for taste either. Let's watch now as Linda demonstrates how to handle a special order.
Hi, honey. You know, I'm doing some redecorating in my house, and I was just going over your wallpaper catalogs. My, you have some lovely selections, and some good prices, too.
Thanks. We're very selective about the catalogs we keep.
Really? Well, I might want to pick some of these up, but I don't see any of them around anywhere. Where do you keep your wall coverings hidden?
Well, we don't stock wallpaper. It takes up too much space. But we can special order anything you like.
I see. Will that take very long?
A couple of weeks at the most.
2 weeks. That's not so bad. Yes, that should work out just lovely, darling. Let's give it a whirl.
Okay, let me special order it for you.
Creating a special order is almost identical to creating an order. You begin at the big header screen. So press Next Screen to go from the posting screen to the big header screen. And then press Special Order Recall. The screen changes to display Create Special Order. Since this will be a cash transaction, you can leave cash in the field for customer name. But it's a good idea to enter the customer's last name at the short ID field, just to make recalling the special order easier when the merchandise comes in. It's also a good idea to put the customer's address and phone number at the Ship to Address field. If you wanted to, you could also add information about the vendor and any special instructions in the appropriate fields. After you've entered all the particulars, press Next Screen to return to the posting screen.
Okay, have you decided on what pattern you want to order?
Well, before I came here, I had decided on a very subtle, lovely floral pattern. But what do you think of this one with the lovely birds? Here, what do you think?
Well, they're both nice. I mean, it's up to you. It's whatever you like.
Tell you what, I'll order both of them. I can put the flowers in the kitchen, and I can put the birds in the... I can put them in the powder room.
Okay, fine. Let me look at the catalog numbers and the price, and we'll order them for you right away.
Each store handles the SKU number for special orders differently, but generally there's at least one SKU for special order items. Our special order number is POS 6. We enter POS 6 and press Display. Enter the number of rolls to be special ordered and the price. Then tab to the Description field and type in a detailed description of the item. If you knew the exact cost, you could also tab to the Cost field. Otherwise, the standard gross profit is applied. Press Enter to post the item. To add more lines of text to describe the product, press the Add key. Type in the information and press Enter. Post the second wallpaper pattern in the same way. Type in the special order dummy number and press display. Enter the quantity and then the price. Type in a detailed description of the item. Post the wallpaper. Press Add to type any additional information. After you've posted all your items, press Total. The Triad gives you 3 choices. Since you want to print a copy of the special order for the customer, press Print. The Triad asks for the deposit amount.
We require a 10% deposit. That would be, let's see.
How about $50?
Well, that's fine.
Type in the amount of the deposit and press Enter. The payment fields appear. Since this customer is making a cash deposit, type in the 50.00 at the cash field and press Enter. The Triad assigns a number to this special order, which you can use later to recall the transaction. And since you pressed Print, a copy of the special order prints out.
There you go. We'll give you a call when your wallpaper comes in.
Okay, thanks a lot, sweetie. Bye now. Well, darling, I got your message. So, my wallpaper has arrived?
Well, it turns out that only one of your patterns came in. Would you like to see it?
Oh, yes, of course. Let's have a look.
Here it is.
Oh, that's it exactly. This is going to do just fine. I'll tell you what. How about if I pay for this right now so that I can get started, and then you can call me later on when the other one comes in?
Sure, no problem. Let me recall your order on the computer. Do you have your receipt with you? It has the order number.
Oh, dear. Uh-oh. Sorry, darling. I must have misplaced it.
That's okay, we'll find it.
Good.
To recall a special order, you must first press Next Screen to go to the big header screen. Since you created this transaction as a cash account, you are immediately in the correct account. Since you have the correct account but no special order number, press the special order key to access all the special orders that have been created on a cash basis. Press the Next Item key or the Previous Item key to search through the file of special orders for cash. After you find her order, press Next Screen to return to the posting screen and complete the transaction. There's a more efficient way to look up the customer's order, as long as you entered a short ID when you created Madam Poppinjay's special order. Once you're at the big header screen, move the cursor to the parentheses of the short ID field, and then type an S for special order. Move the cursor outside the parentheses and type in the name you used as the short ID. Press Clear Field to clear everything to the right of the cursor, and then press Next Item to make the special order appear. After you display the customer's order, press Next Screen to return to the posting screen and complete the transaction.
Okay, we're all set. Let's see here. This wallpaper is pattern.
Since you're going to receive payment for a part of the total order, you have to select only those items on the invoice which the customer is paying for at this time. To partially invoice the order, press the Invoice key. With the cursor in the Select field, select the code that refers to the line numbers you want to invoice. Select I to include specific line numbers. Select E to exclude certain lines. And select R to refer to a range of line numbers which are grouped together. In this case, press R to select 2 consecutive lines to include on this bill. Then press Enter. The system asks for the beginning and ending line numbers to be invoiced. Type the line numbers and press Enter. The system shows you what line items will be invoiced. Press Enter again to return to the original special order. After you've selected all the items you want to invoice, press Total to find out the amount of this partial invoice. Now the Triad asks how much of the previous deposit should be applied against this invoice.
I'll hold your deposit for the wallpaper that's still on order.
That'll be fine, and I will charge this today.
Okay, fine.
Since no part of the previous deposit is to be applied against this invoice, type 0. Press Clear Field and press Enter. The payment options appear. You now complete the transaction. Enter the amount in the bank card field. Type in the bank card number and press Enter. Fill out the bank card slip, and the transaction is complete. Since Linda just billed a part of the invoice, that merchandise will no longer appear on the special order. Only the line items that she did not include on the partial invoice will remain on the special order. She will recall it later when the rest of the merchandise arrives. Now let's move on to the open quote. An open quote is a customized price list that you can give to a customer for a fixed period of time. For instance, let's say your store normally sells everything at retail. That means that every time you sell an item, the Triad displays the retail price. By creating an open quote for a customer, however, you can override that regular pricing strategy for the items you place on the list for the period of time you indicate. An open quote is a way of saying to a customer, okay, tell you what, normally it costs you full retail price for those hammers, nails, plywood, and insulation. But because we appreciate your business and because you're bringing this special project to us, for the next 30 days you can have as many of those items as you want for 10% off retail. Let's watch now as Linda demonstrates how to create an open quote.
Hi, I spoke with Mr. Walker earlier about pricing some items I need for redecorating an apartment building.
That's right. You must be the interior designer he mentioned to me. What was the name again?
Design for Living.
Right.
Oh, he also mentioned something about setting up an open quote, whatever that is, for the next 30 days.
That's right. And if I remember correctly, he agreed to give you 10% off retail, right?
That's correct.
Okay, great. Why don't we set it up right now?
Like order and special order, you have to begin at the big header screen. So press Next Screen to go from the posting screen to the big header screen. Display the customer's account. After the customer's account is displayed, press the Quote key to begin the process of creating an open quote. The cursor moves to the field where the estimate or bid number will be displayed. Just press Enter. The cursor now moves to the pricing code field. The cursor blinks at the pricing code currently in effect for this customer, while the bottom of the screen shows all the pricing codes. In this case, the R indicates that the customer usually pays retail price. You'll find a more complete description of pricing codes in the manual or the flip chart. Since we want to give this customer a 10% discount off retail, we enter a D at pricing and then 10 at the percent field. Press Enter 3 times to move the cursor to the open quote field. To create the open quote, type a Y for yes. Move the cursor to the expiration date field and type in the last day you want this open quote to be in effect. Press Next Screen to return to the posting screen and begin the posting of items to be included on this special price list.
Okay, now what items did you and the manager agree to put on this open quote?
Oh, gosh, let's see here. Latex paint, paintbrushes, rollers, and drop cloths.
Okay, let me post those items on your open quote.
To post the item on the open quote, type in the SKU number and press Display to verify that this is the correct item. If you're sure that this is the correct item, press Enter to post it. Continue posting all the remaining items on the open quote. Remember that we're really concerned with quoting prices and not quantities in an open quote. So the easiest way to handle the quantity field in an open quote is to enter a 1 for each item posted. After you've posted all the items, press Total. The system asks if you want to save this estimate. Press Enter to accept the default answer and save the open quote. The system assigns a number to this open quote and prints it. From now through the expiration date, the price for the items listed on the open quote for this customer will be 10% off retail. What if you choose not to save the open quote? In that case, the Triad would still print out the quote for the items you specified, but there would be no memory of the transaction in the computer. The discount prices on an open quote are in effect only if you save it as an open quote. To show you what we mean, watch as Linda demonstrates how a saved open quote would affect the sale of merchandise included on the list. Press the Charge key and type the number of the account. Press the Display key to make sure you have the correct account. Press Enter if this is the correct account. Type the SKU number of one of the items on the open quote, paint for example, and press Display. Notice the price displayed at the price field. This is the open quote price. Press Enter to post the paint quantity. Now for contrast, display an item that is not on the open quote, say plywood, and press Display. This is the regular retail price. Press Enter to post the quantity. Notice that the selling price is still the regular retail price. Because the plywood was not included on the open quote, the special pricing strategy does not apply to it. Plywood is still sold at retail. And that's the way an open quote works. Items on the open quote have all been discounted at 10% off retail. Other items not on the customer's open quote list will be sold at retail. Now, what if you need to make any changes to the open quote? Let's say you want to change the expiration date, or maybe you need to add or delete items from the list. In this next scene, we'll show you how these things are done. Watch.
Hi, remember me? I'm
The
redecorating.
apartment building, right. How's it going?
Ooh, it's okay, except that it is taking a little longer than we planned. So what else is new, right?
Well, that happens.
So anyway, I talked with your manager and he agreed to extend that open quote for another 2 weeks.
He mentioned it to me. He also said something about changing some items.
Yeah, I won't be needing any more drop cloths, but I will be needing a lot more masking tape.
Okay, let's make those changes right now.
Great. Let's see here. I brought my open quote.
Thanks, that helps.
To make changes in an open quote, you first have to recall it. So press Next Screen to go to the big header screen. Type the customer's account number and press Enter. Then press Quote. The cursor moves to the Estimate Bid Number field. At this point, you can type in the actual number of the open quote, if you know it, and press Enter. Or you can type in the highest possible number you can, which is all 9s, and press Next Item to display the open quote for this customer. Since the screens for open quotes, estimates, and bids look very similar, check to see that there is a Y at the open quote field. Tab to the expiration date and type over the old expiration date with the new expiration date. Then press Change. The screen tells you that the transaction has been changed. To add or delete items, you have to be at the posting screen, so press Next Screen to return to the posting screen. the screen displays the items included on the open quote. To delete the drop cloths, press the Void key. The system asks, what line number? Type the line number of the drop cloths and press Enter. The drop cloths have been deleted from the open quote. To add the masking tape, type the SKU number of the tape and press Display. When you have the correct item, press Enter to post the masking tape quantity. Now notice the discounted price. The masking tape has been added to the open quote. After you've completed your changes, press Total. The screen gives you two options. Press Enter or Total to save the changes for the open quote without printing it. Or you can print the changed open quote by pressing Print. Either way, the Triad will save the changed open quote, and the special prices for those items will remain in effect through the expiration date. Suppose you want to delete the open quote before the expiration date. What then? Simple. First, you recall the open quote. Once you have the open quote displayed, press the Delete key. If you really want to delete the entire open quote, press Delete again. Since you're sure, you press Delete a second time. The Triad tells you that the transaction has been deleted. That's how you manually delete an open quote. Remember that an open quote only remains in effect through the expiration date you specify, at which point the open quote automatically expires. After that, the pricing that regularly applies to the items mentioned in the open quote comes back in force for this customer. Now let's move on to the last function in the special order package, estimate. Estimates are created in a similar manner as open quotes, but are used for different situations. While the purpose of the open quote is to tell customers how much it will cost to purchase specific items for a specific period of time, estimates give customers an idea of the total cost of buying a group of supplies, also for a specific period of time. In an estimate, you must specify the exact quantities of each item. Some estimates discount a few items, with the rest of the supplies listed at the customer's normal price. Other estimates do not offer any special pricing at all. These quantities are estimated by the person who does the takeoff from the blueprint which the customer will be using on his special project. Sometimes the customer does his own takeoff. Sometimes he brings the blueprint to your store and your estimator does the takeoff. In either case, when you create the estimate for the customer, you need to indicate the specific quantities of each item on the takeoff. Let's watch how Linda creates an estimate for one of her store's regular customers.
Hi, remember me? Tony, Thomas More Construction.
Sure, Tony. What do we have here?
Can you work up an estimate for me? I have the takeoff sheets here on a new job we're bidding on. I brought the blueprint just in case.
Okay, great. I'll just work up the estimate from your takeoff sheet.
Okay, sounds good to me. I'll be back in a little while to pick them up.
Okay, great.
For the first few steps, you create an estimate exactly like you create an open quote. We begin at the header and display the customer's account. Press Quote to begin the process of creating an estimate. The screen changes to Create Estimate, and the cursor moves immediately to the field where the estimate number will be displayed. Leave this field blank for now and press Enter. Just as with an open quote, you can override the regular pricing strategy on estimates. Since we want to give this customer a 10% discount off retail, we enter D at pricing and 10 at the percent field. Type in the expiration date for the estimate. So far, everything you've done to create an estimate is exactly the same as what you do to create an open quote. Now, since this is an estimate, not an open quote, simply let the open quote yes or no field remain as it is, with an N for no. Press Next Screen to return to the posting screen. Post the items and quantities to be included on this estimate. To post an item on the estimate, type type in the SKU number and press Display. If you're sure that this is the correct item, press Enter to post it to the screen. Continue posting merchandise to the screen until all the items on the takeoff have been posted on the estimate.
Hi, I'm back. How's it going?
I'm just about done. Just give me another minute, okay?
After you've posted all the items, press Total. The system asks if you want to save this estimate. Press Enter to accept the Yes answer and save the estimate. The system assigns a number to this estimate and prints it.
Okay, Tony, here you go. Here's the total down here. If you accept this, we can give you this price on these materials until the expiration date.
Wow, that's a great price on the plywood. Do I always get that deal?
No, just if you buy the entire list of goods.
Well, let me just check around on these prices.
Fine. You have until the end of the month. That's when this estimate expires.
That's no problem. I'll get back to you in a day or two. All right, see ya.
Bye-bye.
Of course, you could choose not to save the estimate by typing in when the Triad asks if you want to save this estimate. The Triad will still print the estimate, but if you don't save it, there will be no record of it in the Triad for you to recall or change later on. If the customer wanted to order from the estimate, you'd have to re-enter all those items from scratch. Let's see how Linda handles ordering from Tony's estimate.
I've decided to go with the estimate you punched up for me yesterday. I want to order all the materials I've highlighted for delivery on Tuesday. Same quantities as the estimate.
Okay, fine. I'll post an order for you.
Linda posts an order using the items, quantities, and prices quoted in the estimate. The order will reserve these items for delivery to Tony's job on Tuesday.
Here you go, Tony. Thanks for the business.
Thanks, Linda. I'll probably be ordering the rest of the material sometime around next Wednesday.
Fine. Just make sure that you order everything you need before the end of the month. Your estimate expires by the 30th.
Good job, Linda. Well, that's just about everything you need to know about using estimates on your Triad. Now let's review the 4 additional transactions in the special order package and how they're used. Use order for those situations when a customer calls up ahead of time and wants to pick up something that you already have in stock. Once you have the correct account showing, press the order key to begin the procedure. Use special order when you don't have items in stock which need to be special ordered from a supplier. The procedure is just like order, except that you press the special order key to begin the procedure. Use open quote to create a customized special price list of specific items of unspecified quantity for a specific period of time. To create an open quote, you press the quote key and say yes at the open quote field. Use estimate to create an offer to sell definite quantities of a group of specific items at specific prices for a specific period of time. Remember, estimates may not involve special pricing. The procedure for creating an estimate is just like creating an open quote, except that after you press the quote key, you say no instead of yes at the open quote field. Well, that's it. Good luck and good selling.